Hello, my name is Elizabeth. Priscilla Francisca Ratu. I am a English literature student in Universitas Kristen Indonesia. And in this video, I'll be presenting some online learning topics that is provided in my English speaking class. This is the first part for the video. The second part can be found in my YouTube channel. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so the online learning tools used by the students. So in each topic that I'll be presenting, I'll be talking about some of the topic by representing 5 countries in ASEAN, which are the first one, South Korea, and then the second one is the Philippines, and then continue on to Singapore, Hong Kong, and lastly, Malaysia. So again, the online learning tools used by the students in South Korea. So in South Korea, not only do they have a better mobile connectivity, but they are also the creators of the first social network called the Cyworld. Now, this Cyworld is used in South Korea as their educational and strategic policies to enhance and expand their use of ICTs in education and research. So the tools that are used to learn their online learning is this iWorld that they have created. And then in the Philippines, there are so many usage of social media for their online learning application. But one of the most famous tools that they use are in Facebook for their distance education. Whilst in Singapore, teachers and students use the ministry SLS platform and the supplement and with other tools. So they use this and also this Circle Facebook page as their distant learning online application. While in Hong Kong, lectures course are based with web-based. So they use web-based as their online learning platform. And lastly, in Malaysia, they mostly use their computer technology as their usage for distance learning, with also using platforms like in Google Meet or even Teams and other stuff. Okay. The other topic, B, the positive and the negative impacts of online learning for the students. So in South Korea, the positive impact is the display of positive confidence in their learning ability and in their technological proficiency and in their achieving their educational goals. Research indicates that emotion affects the learning experience, and the educators understanding of the students in their personal and social capacity provides support beyond just the scope of the learning content. While for the negative impact, misconception that the effectiveness of online learning depends on the availability of internet access and technological tools. Whilst in the Philippines, the positive impact is students effectively dealt with the situation by seeking help from their teachers and their relatives and engaging in recreational activities. While the negative part is that students raise their concerns on learning and evaluation methods, overwhelming them with education and information technologies. For Singapore, there are 2 points for the positive impact. First is unlimited space to learn through online, and they improve in their IT skills and creativity through online. While the negative part is that learning convenience, security risk, and service quality have a negative and significant impact on switching from offline to online, which confuses the students. And then in Hong Kong, the positive side is that both students and even teachers gain more effective communication during online class content. While for the negative, there are not a lot on students, but for the teachers mostly, they felt overall stressed by the technical issues and skills from teaching online, which is also can have a bad effect for the students. Lastly, in Malaysia, the positive impact is that learning becomes more effective for them and efficient during the pandemic era while gaining their health safety. Whilst on the negative side, it becomes more more distractions around students during online classes, which makes them unable to concentrate in learning and understand the information and to receive constructive feedback from lectures and other reasons. And then C, the barriers experienced by the students towards the online learning method. Now, in South Korea, based on a study, the main barriers online education for students is the lack of technology and lack of past experience on using online tools, along with the major barriers of lack of motivation in using technology and an inability to networking with experts in the field. While in the Philippines, the barriers experienced mostly specified by students such as um, specifically students who work part-time. They lost jobs that support their education, household budgets that had to be split between essential needs and internet subscription, family-owned business closed, and scholarships were put in limbo due to the pandemic. Whilst we're in Singapore, the barriers that are dealt during the online learning experience are social challenges that are the outcome of this pandemic, as it is hard for them to engage socially through online. While in Hong Kong, most children encounter difficulties in completing distance learning tasks at home, the major difficulties being children's lack of learning interest and home environment related limitations. Most children were not able to complete the learning task independently. Lastly, in Malaysia, the barriers that are dealt have to face during online learning are the technical difficulties and comfort such as not having a learning space at home and not having Wi-Fi access to and not receiving mobile broadband coverage at home. And then D, the barriers experienced by teachers toward the online learning method. In Singapore, teachers dealt with current thinking and there's highlight contextual base and social constructive understanding, which is very new. So this is a very big problem for the teachers in South Korea during this online pandemic. And then in the Philippines, most of the complaints from the elderly teachers were that they show this interest and challenges towards the online teaching modality. They start that following simple commands give them difficulties in facilitating online classes. Furthermore, since elderly teachers are disinterested in technology, they have little to no technical know how and do not know what to do with online classes. Well, in Singapore, the lack of a system that clearly articulates the educational pathways of gaining the appropriate educational qualification in bite-sized or modular fashion. This articulation of pathways to educational qualification is particularly important for working adults who are pressed in time and even teaching the students. While in Hong Kong, the lack of technical knowledge and skills in using technology, even when teaching could be conducted online, both teachers and students experienced a sense of isolation as they were unable to see each other and their communication could only be done by text, through emails, or online discussions. Lastly, in Malaysia, some teachers in Malaysia have difficulties following and adopting the e-learning method while also handling the same problem as its students with their space of teaching and technical difficulties. And the last topic is parents' attitude and perspective of online learning. For the parents in South Korea, although some of them take these additional responsibilities gladly, and understand the importance of their role in helping their children learn at home, there are also parents who have difficulties in accompanying their children to learn by reason of the absence of online devices or difficulties in controlling the child's behavior in learning. Some parents do not understand how to explain the material to make the children understand. While in the Philippines, the parents were still in the process of developing their involvement in school, especially in this challenging time. Also, the level of academic performance showed the mean of score, and the respondents' academic performance were very satisfactory. This revealed that the students performed well in the class during the online learning modules. Okay. In Singapore, parents are worried that students' time and effort spent on thinking process in IT project may divert attention for the emphasis on regrading, regrading, or and implicitly content knowledge, and thus affect their performance on exams. While in Hong Kong, parents wanted more interactive online learning to facilitate children's learning during class suspensions and desired better learning support from schools, flexible work arrangements, and government subsidies. And lastly, in Malaysia, parents' opinions of online learning are the concerns of their lack of time to support and help their children who are learning at home while at the same time working with their jobs or providing their education. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoy and thank you for watching.